All right. Well, Happy New Year, 2024. It's always new beginnings, but at the same time, when you've been going for months now, it's you want to keep building and going. So it's not brand new. But I think we're excited about Road Sunbelt. We're excited about the league. It's just the challenges that are going to come to us in 2024. We're going to try to do everything we can to try to overcome them, but we know they're coming. So even right away, you kind of dig deep down into Louisiana, and they've won 19 straight home games, and they haven't lost a home game in 2 years. That is an extremely tough challenge, and defending champs and on and on and on. So we know that's a challenge, and then it looks like, all right, you're gonna play a game on Saturday, and that team's 18-1 in their last 19 home games. So what's that math there? 37-1 is what we're going against on the road. So we better be our best, and starting Thursday, we better be at our best on Thursday. We're not getting out of there with the win, and we know that going in. We know we get to play really, really well.
When you look at Louisiana, and they obviously they lost a couple of key guys from last year, but they kind of kept the core of the team together. They didn't do a ton in the portal, everything. When you look at the way some of their guys who have been around have stepped up this season, just what do you kind of expect from players that you're a little bit familiar with from last year?
Yeah, I mean their backcourt's the same, and I know that's good for Bob Marlin and good for Louisiana, and they got a first-team All-League point guard and one of the best shooters in the league, and guys have been doing this, ran through this and know what to expect. So I think it starts with them, just kind of their continuity. But then a guy like Julian, who's averaging near 18 points a game, he's finally healthy. I knew about him a couple years ago, and he was really good then, and he's battled some different injuries, and so now he's back, he's healthy. That backcourt. Those guys are as good as any backcourt in the league. So that's why they're one of the best teams in the league. Just some continuity. They didn't bring in a ton of transfers, this and that. But when you got one of the best backcourts in the league, you're not going to bring in anything but backups. So they got good ones. Julian's healthy. I think that's why they've had some good wins and then played a tough schedule. But I think it's why they're going to be one of the top teams in the league.
Mark, can you walk us through the development of the defense during the first portion of the first half of this season and how that has progressed?
Yeah, I mean, we came into the season thinking that defense is going to be our number one focus because we thought we had talented guys who could score. And we wanted to make sure we had the right scheme. So even this summer, we kind of messed around with multiple things and kind of saw what we latched on to, what we were strong at. And then we get to the season, and we make adjustments along the way. We've had some games this year. We've played different styles of defenses. Here lately, our defense has been pretty consistent in one type. But, I know I have guys in guard. I know I have guys that can focus and be able to do that. And we got to make sure that that's the number one emphasis. If our offense is off, we still can win. We talked over just the other day about Texas State. Last year, we lost 63-62. And I told our guys going in, if we only score 62 points in this game this year, we better win. That means holding them to 61 or less. And, that's got to be our mentality, that we got to make sure we get stops. And then the other side of that, too, is when we get stops, our offense is better. We're in transition. We're good in transition. So the times that we've had some lulls, you can usually look at our defense intensity and focus. The times we've been really good playing at a high level, look at our defense and our intensity there.
Yeah, well, there are times during the non-conference schedule, it seemed to me that it was basket for basket, just stretches where, okay, you were trading baskets with the other team. But what seemed to be the separation was when that defense intensified for one reason or another. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I mean, that's our goal going in. And, if you look at our practice plan, we're spending 70% of the time on defense. And we're one of the top scoring teams in the country. But, that's not what we're doing in practice. You know, we know we need to work on. We know if you look at our practice today, it's going to be mainly defense. That's where we got to make sure that we're working with our adjustments, our time, our focus, and then we know the other things are going to come. It's these road games and these games in the Sun Belt, a lot of possession games, a lot of grinded out games, and you know, if you make a couple defensive mistakes, it's the difference between winning and losing. And so we want to make sure that we're doing everything possible to give us a chance to win.
Seems a natural tendency, human tendency, to kind of think offense first and defense second. I mean, when you started playing, did you defend first or did you shoot a basket? You know, I mean, that seems the way most of us grow up with the sport.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at the depth that you do have, how is that impactful on your defense? Can you sustain, or can you say, guys, you're going to be out there for 3 or 4 minutes, focus intensely defensively while you're out there, while also obviously running the offense?
Yeah, we want to maximize the possessions, and you know, we don't want the guys conserving energy. You know, whether that be in any part of the game, you know, running the court on offense or defense, and you know, we always talk about, you know, it's somewhat selfish if you're conserving energy and not going hard. To not be able to go out and do what you got to, because it could be that time where you're supposed to do something, you didn't do it. You know, with our guys and our depth, I mean, some of our best defensive guys are coming off the bench, so sometimes they come in, they could turn it up to a different level and do different things. The thing that, you know, we talk about, we don't want things to be an all-star game. We don't want to sit there and think, all right, they scored, then we're going to go score, and we don't want it to be that way, because it's playing with fire, and it's a bad way to play the game. That we want to make sure that we get stops, and then we try to turn those into baskets.
Coach, talk about X a little bit. We just had a chance to talk with him and just his development from when he first got to campus to where he is now. And he stepped up in some big moments, the Hampton game, the Marshall game last year as a true freshman to help you win that one. Mm-hmm. Just talk about his development in the short time he's been here. Yeah,
I mean, one of the qualities that sticks out is he's not scared. I mean, he goes out and he plays aggressive, and that's offense and defense, and he's learning the nuances of the game. You know, he's a basketball family. He loves the game, and he's learning the nuances, the small little details that add up to different things. And he watches film. You know, he learns from his mistakes, and when guys are doing that, they keep getting better and better. And so he came in and he had an impact as a freshman. We lean on him more, you know, his sophomore year, and you know, some of the best lineups we had this year is actually when him and Michael Green are playing together. And you know, they you know, X can play the point or the two, and you know, Mike can shoot the ball and play on and off the ball, and then kind of, you know, interchange with each other. But things are going to keep getting better and better from him. He's young. You know, he's not one of these sophomores that you look at and they're 21 years old. I think he's 19. And so he's young, which is exciting. He's going to keep getting better and better, and we like how it's growing with him. I mean, he had a minor injury, you know, that kind of set him back and going into some earlier games this year. And you know, before that, I mean, we had a scrimmage against another opponent, and the other coach told me, he goes, "That's one of your best guys," and he has been. He just does different things, and guys like him help you win, and you know, that can, you know, give you scoring, but it can also give you different things. And he's one of our best leaders, and to be at his age, he's mature beyond his years.
How comfortable has it been for you to have the same lineup for the most part? Again, obviously, Mike didn't start the Michigan State game, but played starter minutes, and then you've had the same starting lineup ever since. Is that nice as a coach to kind of know, and your guys know the role? Is that comfortable and part of why you've had some success?
Yeah, I mean, there's adjustments along the way, but I think it is helping with the players to have some familiarity of what's expected to them at what time in rotations, and you know, we haven't always had that. You know, sometimes guys have been in and out, and we've had to make more adjustments in practices. We lost some of our depth in practices, being able to go 5-on-5 and compete in there. But the games, we've had some familiarity, and guys know what to expect, and they're still learning each other. I'm still learning them. It's okay. You know, we're 13 games in. We'll learn a lot more this weekend. But the fact that you're talking about that, it's been different guys who finished games. You know, it's been that one group who started the games, and it hasn't always been the same group that's finished. And we kind of read the game and read the situation and read how guys are playing.
Do you have an update on Quincy, how he's doing?
Same as it was the other day. You know, it could be back within a couple of days, or it could be a while. We're still working with doctors.
Talk about your team, this team, I guess specifically on the road. Again, you're 5-0 so far. You mentioned these two teams coming up. They're great at home, but they both have losing records on the road. It's so challenging to win away from your building. What mindset does this team have the right mindset that you're looking for on the road, or what does it take to be a good road team?
We better have a mindset this weekend, or there's no chance to get the win. Just the environments, the difficulty, the talent, the teams, the coaching. We better have the right mindset. With our guys, and we've always talked about there's certain things that we thought are characteristic on winning on the road, and you're limiting your turnovers is one we always talk about. We always talk about defense. If you're holding a team below 40%, you're probably going to win the game, and so we always talk about that number, and that's a hard number to get. And then we also talk about, just making sure that we handle adversity. That's what comes on the road. Bad call, travel, routine, whatever you want to go, you're going to have to handle some stuff. And at home, when you go to adversity, you usually have 6,000 other people patting you on the back and cheering you on, try to help you out. When you're on the road, you're lucky to have 6. It's it. And it's not many people come with us.
X was kind of talking about just going up against the defending conference champs on Thursday. Does that fuel you guys, knowing that they've been to a place that you guys are trying to strive to get to?
Yeah, I think that's anybody in the league. Everybody has the same goal. Everybody in the Sun Belt, 14 teams, are sitting there, dreaming of cutting down nets. But that's a long way away. And so with this game and everything else, I mean, it is just a game. But, I want guys to understand going into the game what they're getting into. And, this team doesn't lose at home. I mean, it's like you're going to have to play your A game to be able to do that. And, that backcourt and those guards, they haven't lost at home in a long time. And so you got to understand what you got to do, how well you got to play to win that. Last year, what they did is great. I thought they were a team last year that could have won a game or two in the NCAA tournament. Louisiana is really good. And I thought actually in our league, there's 3 or 4 teams that could have won the NCAA tournament, won a game or two. And they were a great representation. They played Tennessee, ran into probably one of the toughest teams to play against. Anybody else, they're probably getting a win. But then, we'll see what it looks like a couple weeks from now. 8-9 weeks from now, which teams are stepping up. Everybody right now is just trying to position itself, jockey for position, try to get ready for the tournament and keep getting better. They're the same as us. That's all we're doing, this Thursday, and hopefully we do that.